Welcome to Bucharest, a very steamy Bucharest, 36 degrees centigrade. Got here late yesterday afternoon. Bit of a, not that far in miles, a couple hundred miles, but the roads, particularly in Bulgaria, were shocking. I signed up for their toll roads, and actually when I got on them, they were just normal A roads. There weren't any motorways at all, so it took a long time. Anyway, crossed the border into Romania, staying in quite a cool flat. I did a bit of filming of the border crossing, so take a look. Right, behind me is the palace, the spring palace of Nicholas Ceaușescu. Now you might remember that when I was in Albania, I talked about Enver Hoxha, who was a dictator of Albania. Well, sort of a slightly similar story for Nicholas Ceaușescu. Poor man, uneducated, worked in a shoe shop as a cobbler. A determined communist, and got lucky. By virtue of Stalin's Iron Curtain, this helped Nicholas Ceaușescu, who was an avowed communist and in fact had been in prison in Romania during part of the war. And he then rose to power, and a bit like Enver Hoxha, he developed the cult of personality. So he ruled Romania from 1965 to 1989, when there was a revolution. In 89 there was high inflation, extreme poverty, and as with so many of these communist leaders, the palace behind me, it was lavish and obscene. So I'm going to take a look at that now and see what style him and his wife lived in. And if I'm allowed to take photos, I will take some film in there. Right, well, I'm in a district in the west of Bucharest for a reason I'll explain in a minute. I've just spent a fascinating couple of hours going through the Romanian Parliament, commissioned by Ceaușescu in 1984. Just two statistics. It's the world's biggest and most expensive administrative office in the world. Would you believe the annual budget to build it was 1/3 of Romania's GDP. I've taken some film which I'll show you in a minute. Right, I can reveal the reason for travelling to some very dreary suburbs of Bucharest. Having visited Ceaușescu's house and the parliament that he commissioned, and given my love of cemeteries, I've travelled out to see the final resting place of Nicolae and Elena, his wife. They were executed and tried and executed on Christmas Day 1989 by firing squad. They were initially buried separately in an unmarked grave, and then in 2010 their bodies were exhumed, DNA tested, and reburied, reinterred together. So let me show you their final resting place. It's actually pouring with rain and very inclement at the moment, but still hot. And this is it. Given his tumultuous life and the effect it had on Romania, quite a humble last resting place. You'll see there both died 1989 after their trial and execution. Right, well, I'm going to get out of the rain and head back to my apartment. Morning all, I'm just finishing up in Bucharest. I've had 5 days here. I just realised I've not shown you either the location or the accommodation I've got, and I just wanted a bit of a word about my experience of this and the value you get from self-catering accommodation. So let me show you where I am and we'll talk a bit about the cost. So, kitchen. I'm packing up, so you have to excuse all my crap and stuff. Bedroom pretty cool, air conditioning of course. For this I'm paying 60 quid a night, and I'm in, if you like, the Canary Wharf of Bucharest. So forget sort of Romany gypsies and sort of primitive society. I was wandering around this area last night. It's a modern city. I mean, all the big brands are here that you can expect. This is a pretty new development. I think the building is still being topped out. The lift certainly looks as if it is. So this is my balcony. by my home for the last 5 days with very little cost. I can get Ubers just down there on the road, you can see. So I really recommend that if you're staying or doing a trip like I'm doing, if you're staying for 2 nights or more, forget hotels, do yourself a favour and get an apartment. Right, everybody, you can see I'm on my way. I've left 5 fascinating days in Bucharest. I've been so impressed with the city and actually with Romania generally. More of that maybe anon, but anyway, I'm heading further north. I'm heading to Transylvania, would you believe, right? To a place called Brasnov, which is pretty much in the middle of Transylvania. You may see in the far distance the Carpathian Mountains, which I've got to encounter, I think, on the way to Brasnov. So there you go. If I see some more interesting scenery, I will film it. I'll see you later. Morning everybody. Well, I've woken up in Brasov to drizzle, gloom, and it's quite cold. So it's the time really to do my washing and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to sign off. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you with another one shortly.